In today's video, we are looking at some darting myths that professional dart players don't believe are true. Let's get in to myth number one. So myth number one is actually all to do with your darts that you are throwing. It's got nothing to do with what dart it is. However, it is to do with how you set your darts up. Myth number one, make sure that your dart is all tight. Your stems are tight, your points are tight. However, a lot of pros don't do that. And here's the reason why. If you loosen the stem ever so slightly, or the K-flex, if you're Luke Littler, because Luke Littler does this all the time, and your points are slightly loosened, so if you've got quick points from Harrows, if you've got switch points from Winmore, or if you've got the standard Swiss points from Target, you will be able to do just this. Now you're probably asking yourself, Hazy, why on earth would they have their stems and their points loosened? Surely that's going to make them fly worse. But that's not the case. So the reason why all these top pros like to have their darts loosened is because it helps with grouping. Now, if you know, with K-flexes, with fusions, with any all-in-one system, they are known to be quite firm, which can then cause there to be quite harsh deflections. However, with it being slightly loosened, you could either have just the points, you could have the points and stem, or just the stems. You will see that on some of the big shots, that they are having less big deflections. And that is because as they collide, the dart in the board spins, making the actual initial contact less harsh on the dart flying towards the board. And that is why this is myth number one, because you should not have your darts fully tightened. Give this a go, let me know if it improves your grouping. Myth number two is make sure your head is clear, have no thoughts in it. Once again, this myth is silly, because as dart players, let alone professional dart players, you should always be planning your counting. Now what I mean by that is if I am on, let's say, 303, I need to be able to know that either while I'm waiting for my turn, or if I'm about to stand up, I know the exact way that I need to go to give myself the best chance of ending on a finishing checkout, okay? So I know if I'm on 303, I would need to start on the 19th. Because if, for example, which I've not done, I've hit 3 of them though. If I hit 7 19s, I would have scored 133, which would have left me on 170. If I say I start on 20 and I hit a 20, that leaves me on 283. I now do not leave myself a possible finish. That's an issue. So once again, this myth, make sure your brain, make sure your head is clear of any thoughts, is ridiculous. Don't do that either. Myth number three, aim for the center of the target you want. Now, once again, this is not something that any dart player of a high level actually does. And I'll explain why now. Now, the reason why you shouldn't just aim for the center of a target is because it's not, for a start, a very good focal point. What a lot of players would do is aim for a specific part of the wire on a certain target they're going for. Now, if you're somebody who throws like Luke Littler, Nathan Aspinall, Luke Humphries to an extent, their target, if they're going for the treble 20, is going to be somewhere that dart is right there. You will be aiming for that top wire of that treble 20 bed. The reason why is because you want it to be the perfect dart is what your eye line is looking at. That is perfect for the Humphreys of the world, the Aspinalls, the Littlers of the world, because their darts stand up. If you're someone who throws like Jan van Veen or Keen Barry, their target point is different. Their target point would be on the bottom wire of the treble 20 bed, so they can then stack their darts on top, because they have what we like to call a flat flighted dart. So once again, myth number three, don't do it. Myth number four, kind of partially ties into myth number 2, and that is, if you miss what you're aiming for, then something has gone wrong. Well, actually, you plan for the complete opposite. Now, once again, what I mean by that is you should always plan for the worst outcome, and it normally counts for when you're trying to get down to a possible finish. So once again, you're in that sort of 300 mark-ish to around that 260-ish kind of bracket. So let's say that I am on 263, okay? My worst outcome there is that I need to hit 1 treble and 2 singles that will leave me on a finish. So if I'm then gonna go, right, thinking of the worst, I hit a single 20, a single 20, and then I get really lucky and hit a treble 20 with the last dart. I score 100. That leaves me on 163. Doesn't leave me on a finish. What happens if I then went, okay, I could go single 20, single 19, treble 19. Well, that scores me 96. That would leave me on 167. That's a possible solution. I could even go, I could go single 19, and then a single 20 and a treble 20. Now that's not the best of outcome. I could easily hit 2 trebles. That's great. But my worst outcome to try and finish off on a finish is to make sure that I leave myself on a possible finish. To make it even easier, if I was on, let's say, 226, right? And the worst outcome is that I don't hit a treble. So let's say I'm on 226, right? Worst outcome is I hit 3 singles. I would then tell myself, yeah, boy. Cool. Oh my goodness me, I've been close so many times in this video. But in essence, that would have been a good outcome. If I was on 226, I then was on 86. That's great. But let's do it again. I'm on 226, and I then hit a treble, a single 20. I'm now on 206. The worst case scenario is I've got to score at least 36 points to finish off on a possible outshot. However, I would probably then go like that and hit a 20, and then would aim to then hit a 19. Because then if I had scored 59, I then would have been on 167, which is the possible outcome. So once again, myth number 4, if you miss, you've probably done something wrong, is actually wrong again. You plan for the worst kind of outcome. And finally, myth number 5, if you're throwing fast, you're throwing well. Now this is probably one of the silliest myths that are actually out there, and that is, yes, if you are throwing fast, it means you're throwing with fluidity, and it means you're throwing well. But we actually know that that's ridiculous. Because everybody throws at their own pace. You don't necessarily want it to be fast, but you want it to be a consistent flow throughout all 3 darts. You don't want to stop, you don't want it to change rhythm, you want it to be the same rhythmic flow of every dart. If you do that, then it means you are throwing well, not if you're throwing fast. Should be like, you heard like a metronome? You know that thing that makes that standard clock, tick sound? You want that sound to be going in your head at whatever rhythm that you throw at. You want that constant tutting sound in your head to keep to whatever flow you throw at. Let's see if my editor can get a ticking sound to be at the rhythm of how I throw.
Okay.
Nice. And there you have it. There are 5 myths that professional dart players do not believe should be a thing in darts. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you would like a part 2 of this video, because there are still loads more myths that people believe in darts is a thing, whereas the professionals tell you it definitely is not. If you are new around here, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We get 3 videos out a week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on, like this video, and I'll catch you in the next one, which is Tuesday. I'll see you later.